part 2 of Catherine Paiz's book Dolores, and I just finished reading chapter 2, where Catherine tells us her side of the story of how she met Igor. She said she flew to Brazil with her dad and brother to go on this retreat, and she said that the first day, right before the ceremony, she had forgotten her blanket, so she went to her room to go get it. And during her walk, she had seen Igor, but she really couldn't tell the details of his facial features. She more so saw his curly dark hair and the tattoos on his arm, and she immediately felt that she knew him. She said, I know this soul, but she didn't know how she knew him. She just knew him. And she said she let the moment slip away after she saw him, and she didn't think about him again. And when she got to the room where they were hosting the ceremony, she said that as soon as she took the medicine, she got into this meditative state, and she was releasing all that pain that she had inside. And at one point, she was feeling super parched, and she said that she heard a hand placing a cup of water by her side. And then when she did look, she saw the man with the curly hair walking away. And that's when she realized that she's always been enough, and that act became sacred to her. And so that was their first interaction together. And up until this point, they hadn't even introduced each other. And the next day, she said that she had a past life vision during a meditation session, and in the vision, Igor was her son, and the spirit told her he loves you very much. And when she asked how old is he, the spirit said 10, and come to find out later on that Igor's last name is 10. So she said that that moment was very profound for her. Later on, she's talking with her brother, and she tells her brother about the vision that she had, and then the brother says, well, it's funny because him and I have been talking, and he told me that he's in love with you. And she couldn't believe it. And at that moment, he comes, he introduces himself. She learns that he lives in Rio. It's his first time doing the retreat, and they talk briefly. And the crazy thing is that she comes to find out that they both bought their tickets for this retreat on their birthday. So she finds it very in sync that they did that at the same time. And then the next day, Igor was leaving, and right before he left, he asked Catherine, Ryan, and her dad if he can pray. And he did this indigenous prayer, and she said that that moment was very significant for her because her family had never prayed like that before, and that was when she started to see him in a different light. And so later that night, the spirit spoke to her again and said, I want you to show up as your best self tomorrow. And the next day, Igor actually shows up, and she didn't know he was going to show up again because he had just left, and she knew that he traveled from Rio all the way back, and it was a long drive. And this time around, they experienced the ceremony all over again, and during her meditative state, she hears the spirit telling her, this is your time to receive your gift. And then she sees a bright light shining, and she sees two forms or two silhouettes, and it's her and Igor. And the spirit tells her, this is your soulmate. This has always been your soulmate, and a lot of things had to happen before you two met, and now you're here. All of a sudden, they both get up together at the same time. They look at each other. He comes over to her, tells her that he needs to speak to her, and she says that she already knows what he's gonna say. He tells her, I love you. She says, I love you back. And then she hands him over the ring that she has. A couple of hours later, she's talking to her dad, and she remembers that she had met an intuitive earlier that year, and that person had told her that she was going to meet a man named Igor and that he was her soulmate. And she plays that conversation for her dad, and her dad is shocked. And then she notices that Igor is walking towards her. He asks to speak with her. They take a walk, and he tells her that he's gonna marry her, and she says, I know. And then the next morning, they had breakfast together. She then went up to her room to start packing because she was leaving to LA, and she said she knew she had to kiss him to really know if what they had was real. And she said that as soon as she kissed him, it was like no other kiss that she's ever experienced, and it was super passionate. And from that moment, she knew. And that was the ending of chapter 2. Stay tuned for the chapter 3 recap.